got the social medias, we got the social medias. You got the Facebooks, we got the Facebooks. You got the Twitters, we got the tweeters. We got the Instagrams, we don't really use that one too much, but we're on there too. If there's something else, we probably got it. You can find them all in the description at the bottom.
Welcome to church.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah. Recently NVIDIA
Why do you always do this on Hutch's segment?
Continuity.
This is a tag team effort. Me with my shenanigans and with him with his.
What?
I love the way that you ended that sentence. You just went all the way down.
All the way down. Me with my shenanigans and you with yours. So Geforce Now,
Which is
a cloud gaming service that basically it provides virtual desktops in the cloud. You can sign in and play your games, your Steam games on it. Mm-hmm. So basically you log in, you have to log into your Steam account, and then if a game is supported on their servers, you can play it. Mm-hmm. They had a lengthy, multi-year, trial period with this. And so they had, Activision games, and Activision, Blizzards, and I forget who else. I think maybe EA.
okay.
But once they came out and started charging for one tier of access, developers and publishers wanted to take their games off of it. And they've been complying. So people are kind of upset about this, and people kind of ganged up on the developers for this game called The Long Dark. And it's an indie game, like survival game. And it kind of brings up the conversation. So you're not buying a game through there. You're playing a game that you own and that you bought, but you're playing it on another system, elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think? So
is this when, say for example, you let Juggle Boy play a game on your PS4, but on his PS4 or something like that, but it was streamed to his machine or something like that? I feel like that was something that you guys were doing.
Yeah, I mean that's well, so almost.
Okay. It just feels weird.
No, this is the problem with this shit, is that
it's confusing.
There are a lot of rights involved with it. You have the right to play the game that you've purchased.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you have the right to play the game that you've purchased on your computer. And you don't have the right to play it on your phone. But if you use this GeForce bullshit to play it on your phone,
the desktop, to play the
right.
I get it now. I see. Yeah, it seems like bullshit for me. It feels this is a problem I have with obviously I'm going to take it to where we deal with digital and physical games a lot because of our jobs.
Yeah,
it feels very similar in the regards that you can't play this digital game anymore because it's no longer available on that service.
Mm-hmm.
And
or it's not supported anymore.
We don't own anything anymore.
Yeah. So honestly, I think it comes down to that, and I get why consumers would be upset. But I would also be if I was one of those consumers, I would also be expecting this to happen. So I don't fault really anybody for feeling bad about it, but I'm also what did these people expect using this kind of service?
Yeah.
If there's a reason why A, you had to explain it to me, and B, I didn't use that service because it's not something I would use because I can see the ownership problems.
I understand that. I think part of the other issue is that GeForce kind of went in a weird direction. If they'd gone,
they got people used to free
stuff.
stuff.
I mean, if they own, yes. So one of the things is the distance from $1 to $2, charging $1 versus charging $2, is smaller than the distance from charging nothing to charging $1.
Yeah, I agree.
In consumers' minds, going from, this is a free service that is offered, now it costs $1. Mm-hmm. Is that worth that? And a lot of people will say no in that
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, and also the other thing is they advertise games being available on there. So I could see kind of devs like, not being cool with their stuff being kind of used to promote a service, a paid service that they didn't have any say or getting any kind of benefit from.
Yeah.
Well, essentially they made like a middleware technology. Like they didn't, if they'd made like a Steam or a GOG or something like that was like, hey, if you buy this through our platform, you can play it on any server or on any device. That would probably be a more reasonable decision than take your existing game library, give us money, we'll connect to that game library and let you play some of it. Like, it feels like a half-baked product, and it doesn't... I mean, I imagine they've got some people doing it, but I imagine that it's a smaller volume than... other tool. Like, I imagine it's fucking nobody.
I feel like it's like a convenience fee more than anything, and I get that. The convenience of playing your games you already own on a device besides the one it was intended for.
Right.
It just feels very convoluted to me.
Yes.
And I think we've talked about this before on this podcast, and I guess we said before the benefit of it is that if you don't have a machine that can run a certain game, you can use this service
to Google Stadia
to
kind
play
of type
it,
of
I guess.
argument.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That just seems like just fucking buy a computer or a console that.
It's a very privileged statement, Brittany.
I guess, but how much is how much would you pay for a service like this for a year versus how much is a computer that would run the
I'm with
program?
you, because it's not...
Because honestly, video games are a privilege.
Yeah.
So...
I get that, and you can also...
So, that could be a privileged statement to say, just buy the console or just buy a computer, but video games themselves are a privilege. So.
And I start, for me, I didn't start with the newest of the newest stuff when I got video games. I started with a generation back.
Yeah, me too.
And, when I got my NES, it was 5 years old.
Well, and I wonder... what the target audience for this is. Is it, people living in New York City who have to take the subway to work, so they play video games on their phone?
I think this is just accessible through a PC.
Yeah,
interface.
this is only PC.
So it's a shit
it's
shit
not even
laptop.
Yeah, so a tablet or something, you could probably play stuff with supposedly it's using ray tracing, some really high end RTX graphics cards and shit. So that's kind of the benefit. If you've got the caps. Internet, you don't have the caps that will stifle, your data or whatever. Yeah. It's an alternative for that. You don't have to upfront cost But
if your data's being capped, it's still going to be capped.
Yeah. So in that situation, it's not going to be a viable. Cloud gaming is not a viable solution.
I still don't think cloud gaming is viable. I don't think it's a technology that anybody wants, anybody's excited about, anybody's like, fuck yeah, now I can have a Microsoft
I'd like to see
Surface.
The statistics of how many people actually use this service too.
Yeah.
I'm really interested. I like the conceptual idea of this, but at the end of the day,
knowing all the ins and outs of rights and terms of service and all that jazz, it's going to be a hellscape to navigate through.
I feel like this is just a bunch of people who are just trying to get ahead on a certain type of technology, and they don't know how to get ahead yet. So
maybe
just
a few years ago, they were like, "This will be the new thing."
A lot of people
trying to
still
make
feel
an
that way.
AWS style thing, and maybe they're trying to build their own public cloud, or they're trying to build a technology infrastructure that'll allow them to leapfrog some other group of competitors or do some crazy shit. But this is not how you do that.
Well, I think that would work in other countries, in Japan, for example. It'd be more suited, or Korea, more well suited for something like that because they have the internet structure for that.
I can't speak to other countries because I've never gamed any of those countries, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, just based on internet infrastructure, they're more prepared for something along those lines. But they also have way more accessible and way less way less
expensive.
way less expensive, like Korea StarCraft houses, for example, where you can go rent a computer and play games.
It seems like the issue is not really the data. It's more like certain companies are like, no, I don't want my game on this
yes,
service.
absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's probably just more than that because I mean, so this is new territory.
Know what problem this thing is trying to solve?
Yeah,
because like it's not a problem. Well, no, it's not. Like right now, it's not a problem. It's looking ahead to like how do you want games to be delivered? Do you want them to make just a bunch of like small boxes that consumers will continue to use, or are we moving towards everyone gaming like on a server rack?
So a shitty Roku box for video games,
basically. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And I'm not excited about that future. That is not what I want the future of video games to look like. I don't want it to be, I paid my EA subscription, so I get to play whatever EA shit.
Yeah, and I don't think the majority of gamers feel. I feel like they would agree with you that they don't want that. They would rather have like
speak
a
for
physical.
all gamers.
Well, I think they would rather have like a physical game or at least a downloaded version of that game on the actual console that they're going to play.
Well,
on.
that pretty much every subscription service that has gone from like streaming exclusive to letting you download games to your hardware. Back up all of those sentiments. Game Pass, for example, was the first really like Netflix for video games that people really started to appreciate because you could download every game.
Yeah.
And then finally, like PlayStation Now came on and was like, oh, please download God of War and download all these fantastic games. And those are actually
they just added control.
Like
they
little
just what?
Added control.
Oh shit! I've been wanting to play that.
Me too.
Okay, cool.
But now these companies have their own individual libraries now with their like monthly like, hey, play games on our console. And so it's like, okay, you pick your favorite console or two, and that's
I'll be
what
really
you do.
surprised.
Well, and it's getting bifurcated too. So every company has a launcher now that you can buy a game through. You've like on my system clogging up my PC, I've got the Riot launcher, I've got the EA launcher, I've got the Epic Games launcher, I've got Steam, I've got the Battle.net launcher, I've got...
I do miss the days of when everything went through Steam.
Yeah, go through Steam or don't go through anything.
Yeah, like Minecraft. Yeah. Minecraft was its own application.
Yeah. But
Microsoft Solitaire.
I also support not giving Steam that much power.
Agreed. So like...
But we need to figure out how to handle that moving forward. I don't know what the solution is.
GOG Galaxy 2.0, I believe, has an interesting
Galaxy?
GOG Galaxy. So I think they're putting in so you can use our launcher to launch games from Steam, Epic, all your other launchers. I haven't tried
you can
it,
hook it up to where it's all together. That's fine, and that makes sense. You still have to have those other launchers though for that. For example, like yes, there's Ubisoft's games built into Steam, but when you launch those games in Steam, they automatically launch
the launcher, which launches the other launcher. Which launches the game.
And that wish I was dead.
Well, that's it. It's just people trying to carve out tiny kingdoms for themselves.
I'll always be like physical person. Also, I'm legally obligated to say forever physical because that's our slogan at work.
We have to get that tattooed now. No,
I can see you being on stage with like a Peter Moore moment.
Oh my
Check this out.
I'm going to tell them that, and we're going to do that. Anyways,
yes.
And I knew you were going to hate that.
What if
I work at a company where a significant portion of the employees have the logo tattooed.
Really?
I was going to say, what if the future is businesses pay us to tattoo their brands on our body?
I would do that though. If Mountain Dew,
just get like Mountain Dew tramp stamp
if Mountain
above
Dew
your ass crack.
paid me $10,000 to tattoo Mountain Dew Code Red on my right leg, I would.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably like finance a few things with tattoos that way.
I just need Do the Do tattooed like right above my butt. Just do it.
This really feels like another topic.
What are your hard limits on body tattoos as sponsored by corporations?
I would not get my eyes tattooed. Have you seen those eye tattoos?
Like the
They're
white.
color. They like fill up
yeah.
the white with color.
No, what?
Fucking stupid.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about contacts?
No.
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 It's ink in your eye.
Very
It
dangerous.
stays there.
Extreme.
What the motherfuck?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're stressing Hutch out.
just stressed out.
Oh, no.
Let's call it.
I need a moment.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Bye.
On that
Bye.
sadness,
Oh.
we're done.
God damn it. Bye.
It doesn't ever. It's not like a design or anything. They literally just fill in their whites up with like ink.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Why?
And you have the potential to go blind with it, of course.
Yeah.
Putting any foreign object in your eye, like, you could go blind.
What an eye exam looks like after you do
The
that.
doctor's just like, you fucked up.
You're a
man.
fucking idiot.
Get out of my
Derek.
chair, you clown.